Welcome to episode 89 of Auto Off Topic. What's going on, Brad?
Not much. Yourself?
Not too much. It was Mother's Day last Sunday.
It was.
Yes,
So that means that it's May.
it is May. I don't know what that meme is. I'm not up to date on that meme.
Oh, I wasn't going for the meme. Is there a
Okay.
meme about that?
There's some hashtag It's May, and I don't know what it's for or where it's from. I just noticed that people post it.
Obviously, because my birthday's in May, that it's important to have a hashtag to remind people
Yes.
that
Well,
it's my birthday.
yeah. Well,
Actually, I have to lie. It's really not important because I don't want to celebrate birthday anymore because I'm just getting, that much closer to 40 now.
I was going to
So-
say wish you a happy birthday, but by the time this episode comes out, it'll be past your birthday. Yes.
Oh, yeah, because we have one coming out tomorrow, which is the day before my birthday.
Yeah. Inside baseball.
Yes.
Doesn't matter.
Yes, the secret's out. We don't record them always right the same. We don't always record the night before.
No. Most of the time we do, but not always. We record if we have an opportunity to record an interesting show because it might not be in the same night as a recording night. But regardless, it was Mother's Day.
2 weeks ago, when
yeah.
you hear this.
Yeah. We, and to my mom's credit, she didn't give Stephanie and I, the grandkids hint.
Okay.
But-
In the where are they?
Yeah.
Okay.
But she was like, Andrew, where's the talent?
Where's my grand talon?
Like, she's like, I was trying to remember, did he sell that car? Or what happened to it?
Or has it just gone into deep hibernation?
Yeah. So,
Well, that's good that your mother even knows anything about your cars because I have so many and I've had so many come and go that my mother has no idea what cars I have. And I could show up in a car tomorrow that I just bought like yesterday and she'd be like, oh, have you had that one long?
to be fair, I do that too sometimes.
Yeah. I'm just more of a serial buyer, seller, keeper forever.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was funny that she was asking me about it because I do have parts. I'm gathering parts. When I finish the Gallant, I haven't gotten to that yet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably doing that this weekend, it'll be past when you hear this. By the time I get to that project,
I think we should ignore the whole timeline
I am.
and just go with it.
I am. So I haven't worked on the Gallant yet. Once I work on it, I'm moving to the Talon. I actually got something really cool that I've been wanting to get because I have a parts car with a junk hood. So I am cutting in a Garage Star drop vent.
Okay.
So it's like a heat extraction vent, but it won't be like I could buy one of those like carbon fiber Evo hoods that they make, but those are like $600 or $700.
And they're kind of cheesy looking.
They are kind of cheesy looking. So instead, we're gonna do some fun cutting with a grinding wheel,
Bodywork time.
and
And by bodywork, we mean cutting and grinding and pop riveting things in place.
then flat blacking this junk hood for now.
Not really bodyworking at all.
Yeah, it's just gonna be flat black, but I'm gonna preserve the original hood.
Yeah, we're not going to cut up a good hood.
No.
You have one that's got a...
It's got rust bubbles on it. And
Yeah,
some
it's not,
dents.
it's not perfect. It's just a...
So once it's
apart.
cut up, if it works well, which it will, because we'll cut and we'll measure twice and cut once,
Hopefully more than twice.
probably 4 times, 5 times.
Mm-hmm.
Then if it comes out nice, it looks cool. Just flat black for now, and then hopefully in the future I'll just paint it body color.
Maybe. Or just keep it as like a track day autocross event hood.
Probably vinyl
Just
wrap
leave
it is
black,
probably
black.
easier.
A giant auto off-topic logo.
Yeah,
I like it. I support
maybe
this
not
idea.
that.
I support this idea.
Maybe some cool vinyl wrap or something.
Wood grain. Full
Something like that.
full Forza style.
So that's what I have for that. It is coming. I am working on it.
You also got tires for it.
Oh, I got some used Michelins.
Barely used Michelin.
Barely used Michelins. Nice Michelins too.
Yeah, very nice Michelin.
So I'll
They're
put those.
They're
They're Pilot Sports.
Pilot Super Sports or Pilot Sports?
I think they're Pilot Sports.
Pilot Sports. I don't remember exactly what they are. But
They're good
nice.
enough.
Yeah.
They're the correct size for my 17s.
Mm-hmm.
I'll either put them on those wheels, or if I get to it, I'll buy some new wheels.
So the short version of a long story is they belong to a customer of a shop that had them on his Mustang for maybe 1,000 miles, and didn't think that they were meaty enough for his car. He didn't like the way they looked.
Yes.
Now he's a Michelin Pilot Sports.
Now, I thought he said they were too loud.
They were too loud, and he didn't like the way they looked.
Yeah.
They weren't wide. They weren't tall enough. So he went to a one size taller tire, but he replaced them with Westlake's.
Now,
Not quite sure what happened there.
it was like not the newest body style, but like
It's like SN95.
it was an SN95.
Yeah, which is a 94 till
Oh.
98 Mustang.
I thought it was the one like an 05 ish.
No.
Oh,
It's an SN95.
they do have giant wheel wells.
But the tires are what, 225?
Only 45s. They're not very tall.
225, 45,
17s.
17s.
Yeah.
This gentleman went with 245, 45, 17s.
All right, it's a little wider, slightly taller.
The difference in overall height is negligible, and the fact that he went from Pilot Sports to Westlakes means that they're probably not actually any wider and not actually any taller. Anyway, whatever. You got a set of almost brand new Michelin Pilot Sports for free.
Yeah.
So we'll take them.
Yeah. So I'll either put them on the Rotas, or if I get to it, I'm going to get some new 17s. But
Just slap them on the roads for now and drive the car. Use the damn car.
no, because I'm going to get tires for the HREs first.
Whatever. Just use the car.
I will. I'll get to it. Have you done anything? Nothing?
No, I haven't at all. Lazy jerk. Actually, that's not even true at all.
No. What have you... Okay.
Oh, wait, no. We already talked about it. The episode that comes out before this episode comes out. I said don't talk about timeline anymore, but we did already talk about working on the
All right, we're not going to talk
Silver
about
Raider
timelines. Yeah.
and the Colt.
Yes.
So we already talked about that, so never mind.
All right. So you know...
I haven't done anything since then, no.
No. So everybody knows that you were borrowing
I was.
the 300D.
I definitely drove around the 300D for a few days.
Yeah, how was that?
I'm in love with Mercedes now.
So what body style Mercedes is that?
It's W123 sedan.
With the turbo diesel?
Turbo diesel.
That was a turbo diesel 5-cylinder? Is that what he told us?
Yes, 5-cylinder, I think. I never opened the hood.
with
I don't know.
Glacial acceleration?
Glacial's a good word for it. Glacial's a good word for it. It's very slow.
Yeah.
He and I both think there's something wrong.
Yeah.
They have this emissions device they call the football. It's like a big. They don't call it a football, but like enthusiasts have
It's like
named
shaped
it.
like a
It's shaped-
football?
Yeah, the enthusiasts have called it the football now.
I feel like Fox Body Mustangs had like a same thing, but it was like a sphere.
Yeah, maybe.
It's like
I
a
don't know.
giant vacuum ball.
Yeah, but this is not a vacuum ball. This is a like a canister that collects exhaust gas soots and whatnot.
It's shaped like a football.
It's shaped like a football, but where they make a pipe that like gets rid of it completely, and the car still will pass emissions anywhere but California.
Yeah.
So he thinks that's clogged, and I tend to agree with him because the acceleration on the car is like it. I've never driven a non-turbo Mercedes diesel.
It's got to be. I feel like a turbo diesel's got to be a little bit quicker than a regular diesel.
I feel like there's no turbo in the car when you accelerate. Like it's put to the floor, make yourself a sandwich, brew yourself a cup of coffee, and then you're doing like 55.
So you don't even hear a turbo spooling up or anything?
No.
Like there's just no exhaust gas.
You just hear the angry diesel.
velocity. Like
Just the angry diesel that's mad that you're putting it to like 4,000 RPM.
weird.
Trying to accelerate. But once you get up to speed, it's great.
What's
Yeah.
it ride like?
Like a pillow.
Yeah.
It's amazing. The fact that the car has 250,000 miles on it,
Whoa.
and it drives like a brand new Honda Accord as far as like rattles and stuff go. It
Well, what? How much
speaks
was that
volumes to the
car? In was it 85?
85, yeah.
How much was that car new in 85?
Oh my God, I'm sure it was expensive.
Like 12 grand.
Maybe not quite that much.
It's a cool color too. It's like an ice blue.
Yep.
On
The
tan.
brown interior, yeah, it's real nice.
And it still has a bunch of the original stuff, right? You're telling me it still has like
has the original
the medic kit,
first
or
aid kit in the
first aid
back, like,
kit? Yeah.
complete with the antiseptic, which is, I'm sure, no longer antiseptic.
If it's filled with alcohol, it's probably fine.
Let's see.
Oh, it even had the original. You should change these. It's got the Michelin TRXs on it.
They're not original TRXs. They were mothballed somewhere, and they're in really nice shape and not dry rotted at all.
Still, they're old.
Yeah, they're really cool looking though. I like them a lot.
It's fun. And the bottle, they call them bottle caps?
Bottle cap wheels, yeah, which are
Okay.
the stock wheels. It's a 100% bone stock car, right down to the factory Becker radio. Like it has every original piece in the car.
Yellow
while it's
high
there.
beams.
Has the yellow fogs.
They
Not high
fogs?
beams. Yep.
Oh.
Driving lights.
Cool.
High beams are standard in the headlights. A dual filament
Oh,
bulb.
that's neat.
Yeah, it's a really neat car, and I fell in love with it. And I always preferred the styling of the body style before it, which would have been a W114,
Yeah.
which is like 67 to 70 something. But I really, oh my god.
Yeah.
So,
What?
what do you think the original MSRP
All
would
right.
have been?
So 85 Mercedes diesel. Ooh.
So let's see, what are the cars around 85 that you would compare it to?
All right. Considering I just watched Motor Week retro review on the Challenger.
It's like Sapporo Challenger?
Yeah, and
Okay.
it was $9,000
That
for
was
81,
81, which is 4 years prior.
and that was not technically a luxury car.
Okay.
I would say a German luxury car in 85. I feel like cars were probably their most expensive in the 80s, right? 14.5.
Okay, so I'm trying to quickly, let me turn off my Wi-Fi here. I think it's screwing me up.
Because I think my parents' 242 Turbo in 81 was double digits. It was like 12 or 13 grand or something.
Okay.
And people were like, "You're crazy. That's so expensive for a car."
So I'm looking at comparable vehicles. So I decided to look up what a MSRP would be on an 85 Lincoln Town Car.
Okay.
Because I feel that would be a cross-shop car possibly at the time.
Let me guess that one.
But you don't even know if you're right in the Mercedes yet.
Yeah, but I feel like I have a good feeling on this one.
Okay. So a base model Lincoln Town Car in 1985.
$7,000.
$20,000.
What?
Yeah, $20,095.
Whoa.
That was the original MSRP in 1985.
Whoa.
So now knowing that fact, where do you peg the Mercedes?
Oh boy.
This is from Car Gurus,
$25,000.
which I feel they have a pretty. I'm sure these numbers are correct. You know what I mean? I'm not researching it beyond here. Original MSRP of a 300D turbo diesel sedan.
Yep.
So this car,
Yeah.
base model, $32,190.
Whoa.
Right.
Whoa.
Now put that into retrospective of my parents bought their first house in the late 70s for like $36,000 in a Boston suburb. So that was only 10 years prior-ish. So yeah, $32,190 is the base price on the turbo diesel sedan. That's a lot of money. I don't know what the inflation is from that.
Well, I have that.
Okay.
So, $35,000 in 1985
Yep.
is $81,000 in 2018.
That's a lot of money. That's still a lot. That's still a lot of money. Like that's an expensive car.
But what is a equivalent Mercedes to that today? What model would it be? Obviously, it won't be a diesel.
Well, they don't have the same. Like that was before the C class, E class, S class.
Okay, but would that be like a C class? It's about that size.
I think, they can't compare sizes though because a mid-sized car in '85 was smaller than a mid-sized car is today. So I would equate it to like an E class now, as far as
Okay.
appointments go and the type of customer be buying it. So,
but an E class is not $81,000. E class is entry level Mercedes, is it not?
no, C class is entry level.
Oh.
Yeah, it goes up. C, E, S.
Oh, all right.
That's why I went that way with it because I don't think this would be the entry level. It was the entry level at the time because there wasn't a cheap Mercedes.
My God.
Now there's a cheaper Mercedes. Now you have the C class, the CLA, and all that stuff is the
Yeah.
is the cheap car, and the E class is next.
Wow.
So we'll say an E. What have the new E300? Is that a car now?
I think so.
think it is.
Prices in 2018.
So an E class starts at $52,000.
So prices, that's the other thing, yeah, so the inflation rate, prices in 2018 are 131.9% higher than prices in 1985.
Right. So
That's crazy.
it was an expensive car back in the day.
Wow. And that's why it's lasted.
Yeah, it was a very well put together car.
That's, yeah, it was a very well put together car. But that's the way older cars were built.
Older Mercedes, older German cars are overbuilt.
Yeah.
I mean, they're tanks.
A lot of older cars were overbuilt until they started building cars more to a price. It's become much more common.
So I was just looking curiosity, and 85 BMW 530 was the same kind of money, low 20s.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's a lot of money.
There's a lot of money.
And a 5 Series today is certainly not 80 grand.
No, but they're 50 or 60.
Yeah, but that's not 80.
Yeah.
It's 30 grand less.
I mean, a 3 Series is 40.
That's true.
Like, oof.
So anyway, I'm glad I wasn't buying new cars in the 80s because the ratio of income to car cost
I
is
know.
different. At least not new luxury cars.
Yeah, but like today, a $20,000 car is an entry-level car.
Yeah, no, there's no question. An average new car is like 36 grand now or something like that, which is
It's hard to get a nice car
absurd.
under 30 grand. There's not a lot of options. You can get them, but they're entry-level cars. They're considered entry-level.
Yep.
That's crazy. So
Now,
anyway,
I'm obsessed with this now, trying to find out what all the prices of cars were at 85.
yeah. Well,
My first car was an 85 Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme.
okay. All right. You want me to give a guess on that?
I don't even know what it was. I haven't even found it. But I'm saying that was like my first car, and that was like it wasn't a luxury car per se, but it was a luxury American car.
Well, it was what you had: Chevy, Pontiac, Oldsmobile, Buick. Oldsmobile, Buick were kind of the same level, and then you had Cadillac.
At that point, it was all kind of the same. There wasn't really a classification anymore at that point. They were all pretty much the same car, other than Cadillac was fancier.
Yeah.
But from a Chevy to an Oldsmobile to a Pontiac, you didn't have the step ups like you had in the 50s and 60s. It was more the same car across multiple platforms.
Well, anyway, I feel like that car was probably like $5 or $6 grand, because I think a GNX was like 15 or something, wasn't it?
Well, I have no idea.
Or maybe it was 30. Actually, I think a GNX was like 30 grand back in the day. I feel like I somehow retained that little factoid.
So that would have been like almost $90,000 for a Buick.
Yeah, but it was really fast. It was the fastest GM car they made. I mean,
know.
think about what a Corvette cost then. I mean, it's comparable to what Corvettes cost now.
Yeah, probably.
But anyway, we're going a little deep on 85
Yeah,
car prices.
we really changed. This was not our plan tonight.
But we do have some listener questions. So you want to get to listener questions before we go too off the rails here?
87 Buick Regal Grand National. Price went to $16,617.
Okay.
That's the Grand National, not the GNX. So if the GNX was double the price, I don't know.
I don't know. Whatever.
The GNX option cost an additional $10,995.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was like 25 grand. So it would have been
Yep.
the equivalent to the Mercedes.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, it's expensive.
Yep.
Oh, anyway. My mind is blown by that. I can't imagine you owning a Buick dealer at the time and putting down Mercedes BMW money on a Buick. I know it's a badass car, and in hindsight, it would have been a great investment because the GNX now is a 6-figure car. So, at the time, it was not.
Now, minimum wage in 1985? Any guess on that?
$2.75.
$3.35.
I wasn't too far off.
So, yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, suffice it to say, you were not making minimum wage and buying a brand new Mercedes 300D.
Nope, you were not. Anyways,
All right. So anyway, we do have questions tonight. Now that we're off topic.
that's what we do.
That's
It's in
true.
the name.
Every time I say it, I always forget.
That's how it rolls.
Do you want to just start with Instagram or Facebook, or where do you want to go?
Why don't you go with Instagram? You get your phone pulled up ready?
I do. Ready to go.
All right, let's do that.
All right. First question is from nostalgic_JDM407. He says, what's your take on Ford announcing they're not selling any passenger cars other than the Mustang and iteration of the Focus and concentrating on trucks and SUV CUVs? Also looks like Mitsubishi's strategy is focusing on these segments is paying off by their sales and profits. So, what are your thoughts on that whole Ford move?
Well, they're going to where the money is, I guess.
Okay.
And the money is in small crossovers and
So
SUVs.
you're telling me there's no money in the hundreds of thousands of Ford Fusions they sell every year?
They apparently think not. They don't think there's money in clearly spending the engineering to revamp those cars and come out with new ones. So they want to keep going with CUVs.
A lot of that is my
SUVs.
thought. I wonder if they just haven't updated these cars in so long that you're just like, we don't have a car ready. We're just going to kill them. We'll come back to it later.
Probably.
I don't think that this is like a wholesale, like, cars are done, trucks forever,
And
except for Mustangs.
they might
America.
come out with some cars. And the other thing, I heard an interesting theory from someone, and I kind of think it's the same thing. They might just be ramping up for more hybrids and electric vehicles.
Well, that's what I mean. They don't have another car ready to go yet. So rather than try to soldier on with the cars they've been selling the same version of for years, a la Mitsubishi Lancers,
Yeah.
they're just going to say, we're done, but wink, wink, they'll be back later on.
This stuff sells. So
Yeah.
we're selling crossovers. And whatever, they're not terrible, but
They're not great either.
that's what people want.
People are dumb.
But were giant American sedans in the 80s very good? But people were buying those.
Speaking of 1985
Yeah.
Cutlass Supremes.
Yeah. So, like, what the mass market wants and what enthusiasts want, the people that listen to this podcast, is completely different.
That's true.
So, to make money, Ford sells to the millions of people that buy cars and not the tens of thousands of people that buy 20-year-old cars
Right.
and complain about new cars.
If Ford listened to us, they'd still make an 85 EXP.
Yeah.
So
And they'd be out of business because
But-
we wouldn't buy it anyways.
it's probably true.
We'd buy something 20 years
By
older.
the actual 85
Yeah.
Ford EXP.
So it's
All right, fine.
whatever they got to do. It's business is business. So, and the same thing with Mitsubishi. They're doing what sells vehicles.
Yeah, everybody's all upset about the whole Eclipse Cross name. I'm like, I don't care. I don't think calling a new SUV an Eclipse takes away from the name or the old Eclipse itself.
Who cares?
The Eclipse has been a shell of itself since 1999 anyway. So what does it even matter?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you have a name like Dodge Charger, which was a cool car back in the 60s, and it's now affixed to a giant boat of a four-door sedan. And nobody complained.
They're kind of fast though.
But they're lame. Super lame.
Yeah, I mean,
All right, so where was everybody complaining in 1984 when the Charger was a front-wheel drive, Omni-based 2.2 four-cylinder?
I think people were.
Were they?
We just don't remember.
But nobody remembers now because it doesn't matter.
No.
You hear Charger, and people immediately go back to 1969, Dukes of Hazzard. Like, that's the car people think about when they hear Charger. People aren't like, oh, what about that Dodge Omni-based hatchback?
Or a Challenger.
Or the Challenger. Actually, people did complain
Nobody
about that.
thinks about the 82 Challenger. They
That's
think
true.
about the 69 Challenger.
Except for me. My
Yeah.
brain immediately goes 78 to 83 Challenger.
Yeah.
But I'm twisted, so.
All right.
Anyway.
Next question. Yeti Overland. What automotive brand scene stereotypes do you actually exemplify? I think it's do you actually exemplify? What's
Yes.
Andrew's favorite vape flavor? Also, when does Brad's road trip start?
Okay, so I will be the first to admit that I'm sitting here wearing a flannel and I have a beard.
Yeah.
I feel that's an automotive stereotype.
Yep.
I don't do it to be stereotypical.
You look like a clone of a clone of a clone of a show based on Fast and Loud.
Ooh, that kind of hurts. I may have to go burn my flannels and shave my face. No, that's not anything to do with what it is. I just hide my face behind a beard, and flannels are warm, and we live in a cold part of the country.
They're in right now. You get a pass.
But has that ever stopped me when they weren't in?
No.
So that's why it's okay.
They've been in for a while.
But 1992 Brad, when he was wearing plaid, was not cool.
Yeah.
Not that 2018 Brad is cool, but at least he's slightly more in style because style has shifted back in his favor. But yeah, that'd be my main stereotype, I guess. In fact, so I work at a body shop,
Yes.
as is known. I've worked there since December. So about a month ago, I've only worked there in the wintertime until like now. So about a month ago, the first time I brought my Colt to work,
Yep.
one of the kids that works in the paint department came up to me. He's like, "Is this yours?" And I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "Oh, I wouldn't have ever thought you were a car guy."
Because you drove your truck every day.
I don't know why, but I mean, I was like, dude, like that's all I am. Like I don't do anything else. So he was surprised.
Oh,
But anyway, so maybe the stereotype isn't really well known beyond people who are in the car world, I guess. But I think it's more of a stereotype. People who like old things kind of look like me.
I don't know what
Maybe.
I would exemplify.
Yeah, you don't vape, despite the question.
No,
You don't vape.
no, I don't wear a flat brim because they look really weird on my head.
That's just your head.
They don't fit my head right.
See, now
And it's really unfortunate because I'll go to buy a hat and
they
I'm like,
only come like flat brim style now.
I'm like, that's a cool hat, and then it's a flat brim.
So as I think you're just stuck in your old ways because they probably look fine in your head.
No, they
and
don't.
You don't realize it.
No, I'll put one on for you one time, and it looks really weird.
So as a glasses wearer, which you are as well,
yeah,
I appreciate the flat brim trend. Because in the 90s, with like the super curved brim, I couldn't wear a hat properly because it smashed into my glasses.
I don't mind if it touches the sides of my glasses.
No, it like with the super curved brim, like pushed down on the edge of the
Yeah,
glasses.
it's fine.
It's not fine. It was very uncomfortable. So the flat brim cap, at least I can still wear my glasses.
No, I have like a round head. It like doesn't work.
Everybody's head is round.
I look really
My
weird with a
hats are
flat brim
round, not
hat.
square.
I'll get one and take a picture, and you can see how weird I look.
Whatever. It's not that important. I don't know what trends or stereotypes you actually exemplify. I mean, you have
I do like beanies.
you have a WRX with mud flaps,
It came that way.
but you would have put one anyway.
I did put them on the one I had before.
Yep.
Does have super tones.
It has hella super tones. So you have
That was
the
for the
mud flaps.
purposes of product.
the mud flaps and super tones, but you don't vape or wear a flat brim. So you're half of the online stereotype of the Subaru Kid starter pack.
Yes.
We just gotta get a monster in your hand. That's all there is to it.
I haven't had Red Bull in a while. I do like Red Bull.
Well, Red Bull's out. Red Bull is passe. You need a monster now. Also, we both do a lot of off-road stuff, which is the quote-unquote overlanding now. And again, the beard and the flannel and the craft beer goes along with that.
It's all stuff as white men in our 30s are kind of predisposed to anyways, to drink craft beer.
I guess.
It's just a thing. We're in it. Like
Yeah, we're full serve, full in.
our circle of friends all drink craft beers.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is.
And then when you have good beer and you go back to drinking like a Budweiser, you're like, why did I ever drink this, Will?
yeah.
So,
Yeah. Except for Narragansetts. I do go all hipster on a Narragansett.
so that's more of a hipster thing than exemplifying a trend of a car world.
I don't think I have one. I'm pretty...
I mean, the ultimate thing we both do as a trendy car world thing is we host a podcast.
Okay. All right. That's it. That's it. We are
We think that people care about our opinions, and we host a podcast.
we are the stereotypical automotive podcasters.
Yes.
We found it.
Yep.
I couldn't think of what I was, but that's what it is.
Yep. We have the gall to think that.
I was going to say I
care.
don't self-identify as any one car group, but I am a automotive podcaster.
Yes.
So there you go.
And the last question: last part of that question? When does Brad's road trip start? Unfortunately, financially, it's a long story. We're not going to get into in the podcast, but my life has not been exactly easy lately financially. So I will not be making that road trip as planned. I'm flying to Arizona and flying home from Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
So I cannot afford to buy a car out there right now. But stay tuned. It will happen once I've fixed everything financially. So
And if you see Brad in person, you buy him a beer, he'll tell you that story. That's how that works.
it takes like 3 or 4 beers to get through it, though.
Yep.
So bring plenty of money.
All right. Our favorite perennial guest, Ditch Hookers.
Jordan. Jordan, for those who don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this is... should I be offended?
Well, here's what I would like to remind him gently.
Yeah.
That we'll put together another rallycross car. Well, his question first is, when are you clowns going to put together another
Yeah, what do you mean
rallycross
you
car?
clowns?
It doesn't matter. He's a clown with us. He's clowns as in the automotive podcasters.
That's
that we are.
that is one of the best insults, though, because when you say, like, who is this clown?
Right.
First of all, you're calling him a clown, and then you're not even acknowledging that he's a good clown
Yeah,
and well known.
He's just a clown. You don't know who he is.
Yeah.
That's not Bozo. That's some other fake ass clown.
Yeah.
Anyway, he asked, when are you clowns going to put together another rallycross car? We can gently tell him when we're done putting together his rally car.
Yeah.
So stop running your own rally car, and we'll build our own rallycross car.
Yeah.
And then Yeti Overland responds to Ditch Hooker's Raider, cough, cough, cough. Short wheelbase, cough, cough, cough. New brakes, cough, cough, cough.
Rollover risk, cough, cough, cough.
Yeah, we're not rallycrossing the Raider. I don't think they'd even allow us to, probably.
It's if it was the long wheelbase, maybe.
I don't know.
Short, definitely not.
I don't think it'd even be allowed. Regardless, that will not be out there. We will have something out there eventually. What will it be? Stay tuned.
Yeah.
We don't really know. I always say I'm going to do the Starion or a Colt, and then I don't do anything. So, whatever.
All right. TM Mason 10. Do you guys ever head over to Lars Anderson for Lars events? Lawn events? Yes. He says, I go to the German Car Day on Father's Day every year, but I hope to hit more this year. Actually, we are planning on going to the
German Car Day
German
is
Car
on
Day.
our radar this year because AJ, who was a guest on last week's episode and whose Mercedes I drove for the past few days,
wants to bring his Mercedes.
wants to bring his Mercedes to Lars that day.
So we were talking about meeting AJ there.
Yep, and my goal is to get the NSU wreck running by then.
Okay.
So it runs, kind of. I just need to get it just gone through.
All right.
It's a weekend away from running.
So
we'll get
if
that
we
there.
do go, we'll talk about it because it's in a couple weeks.
Mhm.
So TM Mason 10, keep an eye out on that. And if you see us there, try to find us, and we'll give you some stickers. I'll try to remember to bring stickers with me.
Yes, I'll put them in the car.
Yeah.
Actually, this past weekend, when you're listening to this, was a Cars and Coffee at Lars Anderson. And we tried to go to those, most of those. Unfortunately, I didn't make the last
There is
one.
a question about that, so we'll get to it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yes. No, we go to tons of lawn events there. If you've never been to Italian Car Day, it's amazing.
Yep.
If you do like German Car Day, you probably also like Volkswagen Transporter Fest because there's a lot of air-cooled Volkswagens, which are one of my favorites. And then every year, for sure, we hit Japanese Car Day.
Yes.
That's a guaranteed. Make it every year. Don't miss it. So,
You want to skip to the second one of that?
where is it? What's the name on it?
So throttle by cable, just do a second one.
I don't know where you're looking. At the field show one?
Yeah.
All right, so throttle by cable. At a field show over the weekend, a guy in a brand new Jaguar parks and pops his hood. It was a sea of black and silver plastic, nothing visible at all. For all I know, there could have been nothing in there, or it could have been a nuclear reactor. I laughed out loud, my wife thought it rude, at the absurdity as my daughter stared at it. It then made me a little sad thinking that by the time she gets my age, she'll be lucky to see anything under the hood of a car. Does that matter, or will it all be normal by the time she gets older to not see anything? How is that related to Cars and Coffee?
That's not related to Cars
Oh, I
Car.
thought you said it was.
No, no.
Oh, okay. Anyway,
I don't think it'll matter.
it won't matter.
Because if you keep bringing her to car shows and being a cool dad and spending time with her like
Here's
that, you
the
show
thing.
her the old cars.
Yeah, here's the thing I said to somebody else the other day when they were lamenting the loss of, driving feel and lack of electronic nannies and all this stuff. It's like,
I mean, electronic nannies, not lack of.
sorry, yeah, the lack of driving feel and lack of control of the car.
I hate that
condition.
my 76 Colt doesn't have traction control
Jokes on you, I don't have a 76.
or whatever it is.
Like
I
74,
wish this
78,
had
79.
TPMS sensors so I knew how much air is in the tires.
Anyway, as I was saying to somebody the other day who was lamenting the lack of driving feel in new cars and lack of visibility and the addition of electronic driving nannies and all kinds of things that come along with cars, it's like, don't complain. Just drive something old. The old cars aren't changing. They stay the same. So if you like the old car, just drive the old car.
There's nothing wrong with driving a new car every day and an old car on the weekends. It's totally fine. Totally fine.
Just if you want an old car driving experience, there are plenty of old cars in the market. There have literally been made millions of cars over the years, and there are a lot of them still on the road. So go buy one and enjoy it. That's kind of my response to that. Does it matter that it will be normal by the time she gets older? It doesn't matter because it already is normal. You open the hood of any new car, be it a Jaguar or a Ford, and it's 17 10-millimeter bolts to remove all the plastics before you get to anything anyway. And it's been the same way since the early 2000s. So I think it's already normal, to be honest with you. And honestly, it makes the new cars more aerodynamic and more fuel efficient and cleaner looking, and it makes the old cars that much more special. So viva la old car forever, and new cars are okay, I guess, for everybody else. Throttle Cable also asks, when are you making your next trip down to VA, which is to me, because I was just in Virginia. I don't know. We'll see.
All right.
Sometime. I do want to go to 501 again, Route 501, in a fun car, not a pickup truck. So maybe someday.
All right. Dexter VW. How many 10-millimeter sockets have you sacrificed to the god this week?
Oh, tons of them, and taking off plastics off top of engines.
Actually, I haven't done it.
I have not done that.
It's not that.
I did have to suffer yesterday looking for a 10-millimeter at work. And the first 3 Tex toolboxes that I went to raid one from didn't have it in its proper home. So super annoying.
I'm really good about it. I've only lost one in the last year.
I lost an 8-millimeter, and it bothers me because I now have a mismatched 8-millimeter in my set. So
When that script doesn't match.
it's not even the script. It's just I lost it while I was working on the pickup truck on the side of the road.
Yeah.
So I had to run to an AutoZone to get a replacement one.
Yeah.
And it has this like red plastic line in it.
Oh, weird.
Which is just it ruins it for me.
It's too digital for you.
It's too modern. These plastic covers on the engines and these plastic lines on my sockets.
All right. So next question is Tumrao? Tumrao is a fellow car addict, nerd. How do you know when
That's not you calling Tom Rowe a nerd. His question actually says, as a fellow car addict, and then parentheses, nerd.
How do you know when you have enough or in over your head? Currently, this is parentheses, currently 15 cars, 8 of them projects, 5 of the 7 are long-term in-depth builds. Laughing my ass off. Well,
this is why Tom Rowe and I are friends.
That is, well, sir, I don't know how to help you. That is this might be a cry for help.
It's not a cry for help. It's a cry for validation, which is why he reached out to me, who has like 12 cars, 11 of them projects.
Okay.
7 or 8 of them long term. So, I am in over my head, and he is in over his head. There's no question. But the question becomes, are the cars taking food off your table for your family? And do they make you happy? If the answer is no and yes, then you're fine. Keep going.
Well, I mean, there is some satisfaction in finishing projects. At least I find it.
Everybody's different. And some people just like to have the stuff around them. And
I guess.
I mean, we're sitting here in the Auto Off Topic radio studio in Andrew's basement.
Yeah.
And I'm staring at stacks upon stacks of unbuilt model cars.
Okay.
Are you ever going to finish all those model cars?
No.
Not a chance.
But they also didn't cost me thousands of dollars.
They kind of did.
Not each.
Who's to say his cars did? Because my cars didn't all cost me thousands of dollars each. Okay. I have paid less for real cars than you have probably paid for some of your model cars.
But they also don't take up that much real estate.
But I also don't have hundreds and hundreds of them. So...
Of models?
No, I do. Yeah. Of real cars.
Yeah.
No, I have equally as many, or if not more, models than you do. But that's not the point here.
I mean,
the point is, if it doesn't take food off your kitchen table for your family, and it makes you happy, then que sera, sera. When it becomes a problem, you have a problem.
I just have anxiety about having non-running cars.
Well, that's why we're different people.
And I just can't.
When was the last time your Talon ran?
Oh, it runs.
When was the last time you drove it?
Like 2 years ago.
Right, because it doesn't stop. It runs, but it doesn't stop.
It will stop.
Eventually.
The brakes aren't that bad, but they do need to be replaced.
Right.
But everything runs and drives.
Anyway.
Everything I own runs and drives.
That's true. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Would you like a couple broken cars?
I mean, that's the thing. If you leave me a car and you leave me the parts, if I don't have to spend any money on it, I'll just fix it for you.
All right. Well, I got plenty of options.
That's what I like doing.
I will just get a second copy of my debit card and give you the parts in the cars and say, go ahead and fix these things.
Yeah.
We need to do that more. Summertime's here. We just start fixing things. But anyway,
Oh yeah, just knocking projects off.
we actually already have been doing pretty well, I think.
Oh yeah.
I just keep adding more to the stack,
Oh yeah.
building that wall up.
Yep.
Anyway, this immediately goes into Mud Raider's question, who is our buddy Frank.
What's the status on the Starion? Rust. Moving on.
Sitting in the same place it's been sitting for the
when
past
you-
4 years. No status updates. Moving on.
So Mud Raider's other question: when are you putting together the Auto Off Topic Fall Crawl?
Apparently fall. I mean, it's right there in the question.
Since you got a wide variety of four-wheel drive friends, about time to gather them elsewhere besides where they listen when they listen to the podcast. Apparently, there's a bunch of
Yeah, so apparently he think it's a good idea. I honestly don't think that's a good idea. And here's why I don't think it's a good
Why?
idea. Because we at Auto Off Topic did not set out to make an off-road driving event.
Why not?
Because we're already in the
Sky's the
midst of
limit.
trying to plan an on-road driving event.
Well, I'm still down
Off-road
for
might be easier to plan.
it. Around here, it might be easier actually.
Yeah.
If people want to come to Maine or Vermont.
Yeah, we know some good roads. We could have some fun.
Yeah.
So maybe we should shift our focus to that instead.
Or do both. It's fine.
Well, I don't want to do too much work for nothing. I still have a lot of cars to fix.
Yeah. Well, eventually it won't be for nothing.
But no, I think it's a good idea. Honestly, I really do. I don't know that it will happen this year. But we're certainly down with just hanging out with people. If people want to like get together
Yep.
and do an off-road trip, totally down.
With recovery by Ditch Hooker's Towing Service.
Yeah, well, we do need to print
I mean,
out some Montero
if-
stickers for spenders for all the saves.
Yeah. If you do want to actually go on events, unlike what I do, you should go search out the Northeast Mitsubishi Crew
Yes.
4x4 page on Facebook.
Andrew is a member there, even though he's never been on one of our drives.
Yeah. Eric Karahalis actually organizes trips and goes on them with people. So
He does, and I think they've gone almost all the way down to you, Frank. They're in Florida. They were down in Kentucky.
Yep. That's not almost to Florida.
Well, it's a lot closer to Florida than Massachusetts.
That's like a quarter of a way.
It's more than a quarter. But nonetheless, they have gone to the south. Let's put it that way. It's south of Maryland. It might as well be Florida. To us, northeasterners.
Anything south of the Massachusetts
Connecticut.
border.
Yeah. Connecticut, Rhode Island is still not south. Once you get to, like, Delaware.
Anyway, moving on. Disco Steve. Do you guys remember the first coloring contest? Good times.
We do.
I believe you still owe him stuff. Is that what
Probably.
that's a aside
Probably.
to? I thought we gave it to him.
I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
I'll send him something eventually. Next time we see him, I'll just give him whatever's in my pocket. It's fine.
I think you got to give him something really cool.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
All right. The Daily Downshift, which is a great Instagram follow.
Oh, that's the guy from Virginia with the old, like, FX16, right?
Yep, and the MR2.
Okay. Excellent. Yeah, he's got cool stuff. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, the Daily Downshift is his
Yep.
Instagram handle.
It's actually, there is a post about him on Gearbox Magazine.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I must have missed that one.
Yep.
Excellent.
It's only a couple weeks old, so you can still find it. It's
I'll
probably in the
find that
top.
one. So he knows Brian as well.
Yes.
Excellent.
Thoughts on Ed China, formerly of Wheeler Dealers, new YouTube show. So far, it looks like all the best parts of Wheeler Dealers with none of the bad. So to be fair, I only watched the trailer for it.
To be fair, I haven't even watched that.
And we do have an upcoming episode about car TV shows.
Yes. And I will promise you I'll watch it before then.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. You can watch it.
Is every episode going to be on YouTube, or is it
Yes,
just a one-time
it is.
thing?
No, it is a YouTube series, I believe.
Okay, but not like YouTube Red or anything?
Nope. It's called Garage Revival.
Okay.
So what he does is it's in Europe, and the first episode is a Mark
1 Golf. I've seen
Yeah.
I've seen like the teaser pic on my like YouTube homepage.
So what I just said, he just shows up. What I want to do, if you give me the parts, I'll just show up and fix your car. So that's what he does. He shows up in his van and helps you finish your project.
I like it.
So
Yeah, it's kind
maybe
of what
I
we
should
always
be
say.
on Ed China's show as his assistant.
Or maybe we should make the American version of it. Auto Off Topic Garage Rescue.
That's already a thing.
I
Garage
just-
Rescue.
Is it called Garage Rescue?
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's lame though, because all they do is terrible things, and
Some of the stuff they do is all right.
it's all right. It's not great.
We'll get into all those genres. I've got
They are one of the better of the television.
I've got a
shows.
fun episode planned for that. So
All right, I got a lot of TV to watch.
yeah,
So
I think that's
that's
it.
the last question from Instagram.
It is. And we're making good time here. So we'll finish up these questions.
Oh, we
and-
have Facebook questions too.
Yep, we'll finish up the Facebook questions and let everybody get out of here.
Everybody's already out of here. It's just you and me in the studio, Andrew.
I mean, you can shut this off at any time you want.
Yes.
I mean, please
I
don't.
feel most people do when they get to work. They shut it off, and they don't ever pick it back up again. So nobody ever hears the end of the episode.
Maybe. All right, I've got the Facebook questions pulled up here.
Excellent.
I only grabbed the ones from our page. If you've got extra ones, so we'll
There's a
start
few.
with those. Kevin Bates, do you have any plans for a DSM rallycross build? And what would your ideal rallycross car
Well,
be?
isn't that question directly related to the one on our
Yeah.
Instagram page?
If I could find a cheap enough DSM,
Mm-hmm.
I would do a rallycross car of it.
Well,
It will not be the car I own.
right. Too nice.
My ideal rallycross car, any car.
Mm-hmm.
But actually,
Brad Starion.
I'd like to go rear-wheel drive. Yeah,
Yeah.
anything rear-wheel
Volvo
drive.
240, E30 BMW, narrow body Starion.
Just to do something
just
different.
something second gen RX-7. Anything
'Cause,
Porsche 944.
I mean, to be fair,
Excuse me, Porsche 944.
Jordan's STI is a blast, but it's almost too quick
Mhm.
for rallycross.
I agree.
But it
I
is
would
really
like
fun,
to
though.
rallycross like a '98 Camaro SS.
Yeah.
I think that'd be fun. No, but the plans are always in the back of our brains to use the Starion for that. But
Yeah.
who knows if it will be or not.
All right. Jesse Eldridge, will you guys be at Lime Rock IMSA race in July? Well, super bummer about that. It is the same exact weekend as NEFR.
So-
Usually they are like back-to-back weekends, and you can go to both, but not this year. And so we have plans. The rally is always first.
NEFR, for those who don't know, most realists probably do, is the New England Forest Rally.
Yeah.
Which is our most important or most gone to motorsports event every year. We go almost every year. I don't think Andrew's missed a year since we started going. Have you?
I haven't missed a year since 2002.
And I missed 1 year.
So that is
I missed
now
one since 2002. So
16 years. That's pretty good.
I had a friend that got married that weekend 1 year, which was highly.
Actually, a friend that goes to the rally all the time. Yes.
Was it really?
Yep.
That I missed 2 years then.
It was because Joe had planned his wedding to not be the weekend, and it
then
was
they
the year
changed
they
the
moved
year.
it up.
Yeah, that's right too.
It used to be the last weekend in July, and then they moved to the middle.
Right.
They threw him off.
Anyway,
He made an effort to not miss it.
so anyway, I have only missed that one time, but you've not missed any.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, we'll not be at Lime Rock IMSA. We will, however, be down for the historics. I plan on at least. Just for Saturday, I think, though. We're not doing an overnight or camping. Just a 1 day in and out thing. So that's my plan anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, probably. I don't think I'll be at the Pirelli Challenge, but we'll see. That's coming up Memorial Day.
There's a giant bee in your floor over there, Andrew. Just so you know.
Yeah, you know what's funny? I saw that giant bumblebee this morning, and I was confused by it. Like, I don't know how it got in here,
Probably through a door.
but it's just those. It's just one of those big dumb bumblebees. Those won't hurt you.
Okay, good.
You're fine.
My EpiPen's at home.
Yeah, relax. It's too cold. That's why it's so lazy.
It's lethargic.
But anyway, moving on. Eric Bahovwak says, I'm a high school shop teacher. What bothers you the most about new techs? What do you think?
Sorry, I'm very distracted.
Oh my God,
by
you're
this.
fine.
I'm very distracted by this bee on the floor. What bothers me the most about new techs? New techs as in new technicians?
Yes.
Or new techs as in new tech?
No, new technicians. He's a high school shop teacher.
Uh,
I would say it's sometimes it's a lack of pride in work.
I'd go along with that, and also a lack in knowledge of history or knowing anything, looking at an old car and not knowing how to fix it.
Yeah, I mean,
Because you can't plug a computer into it.
it's sometimes passion is missing, but I know it's hard to be passionate about stuff that you're working on every day.
And you can't teach passion
and
either.
you're working on a lot of times really boring, really pedestrian things to pay the bills.
Yep.
And Dealership jobs are not the greatest. It's a lot of hard work to be flat rate. But just having a passion about cars and having pride in your work does get you far.
Mm-hmm.
People will notice that. And if you want to move on to something else in the automotive world, that will help you. So,
Yeah, I would say it's, like you said, lack of pride in the work, and also not knowing the history of cars, not knowing. I feel like a lot of the basics are missing. Like, they know how to scan a car and find out what's wrong with it, and they know how to replace the part they're told to replace, but they don't. The diagnostics is not. The human diagnostic factor is not the same anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've had people that I work with who can't figure out a simple problem. And then, as somebody who's, works with older vehicles, like, oh, that's probably this, and it winds up being that.
yeah, that is probably experience, too.
Probably part of it.
Yeah.
But
All right. Next
skip
question.
the next one, because we took care of that already. We need to ship him some stuff, too.
But I've been practicing his name.
Okay.
Escudera Borcua.
I don't know.
I think I said it right that time.
I don't know if you did it at all.
Escudera Borcua. I think that's right.
The funny thing is, that would be his name if he asked us a question on Instagram, but he didn't. He asked us on Facebook, so it's Santiago.
Yeah. Iglesias.
Yes. Which you only know because of Enrique.
No. I worked with an Iglesias.
Oh, okay.
All right. Then we go to Paul Huerta.
Here's a related question.
Yes. Are you guys going to Lars Anderson Cars and Coffee this weekend? So by the time you hear this podcast, it will be past.
Correct.
It apparently was supposed to rain all day Saturday. So we will see. If I know
I will not be there.
Brad cannot make it.
Last weekend, when this podcast should have aired before, I will have been in Arizona. And next weekend, when you hear this podcast, I will still be in Arizona. So, no, I will not be there.
I'll see what the weather is. If it's, I think they're rain or shine.
They are definitely rain or shine, because I've been there in the rain.
If it's just kind of like drizzling, I'll either take the WRX or the Montero. But I don't. I like spend a bunch of time cleaning the Galant, and I don't want it to get dirty.
You're such an old man.
No, actually, I'm going to be working on it, so I might not even be done with it because I'm changing out the radiator in the gas tank. So we'll see. All right, so the Daily Brief Auto, or actually, it's just Daily Brief Auto.
Right, which is a podcast which is hosted by Paul Huerta.
Yes,
And
they like to talk about new cars.
and Thanasi, whose last name I'm terrible at. Chalkiadakis.
Sure.
Yeah. Anyway, good dudes. They host a podcast mostly about new upcoming cars. So if you like new upcoming cars, give them a listen.
Yep.
Speaking of new cars, what's their question?
Well, I think we can all agree, this is their question, that older cars are more fun. But if you had to choose a car on the market today or within the last 3 years for a fun weekend car, what would you choose? Realistic or unrealistic? Up to you.
I think we both have the same answer for that.
What's that?
It'd be an FRS.
FRS or BRZ? That's exactly what I came to mind.
Yeah.
Either that or a 370Z or a 350Z
Or a Miata.
or a new Miata.
Or a Fiat.
I don't really like the Fiat as much.
Fiata.
I'd rather have a Miata. I really like the RF.
It's pretty.
But what that's what are those? They're inexpensive. Those are like my realistic choices. Like I could actually go out and buy a Miata, an FRS, or a BRZ. Or apparently 370Zs are really inexpensive too.
Yep.
Those are my realistic choices. Unrealistic choice? Not the Z06. There's like I think the Grand Sport Corvette.
Okay.
The
One level below.
The non-supercharged, like the non-super crazy one, but still is like ridiculously high performance. So like something like that, or GT350 Mustang. Whatever it is. I don't think.
Okay, I like that car too.
There's the GT350R, and then there's a GT350, I think.
Something like that.
Because I could probably buy a GT, but I feel like the GT350 would be like,
It's like 65, 70 grand or something like that.
That'd be
It's a little
pretty
more
cool.
expensive.
Or the ZL1 Camaro. I'd probably take that over a Corvette actually, because it has a usable back seat and trunk.
Mhm.
And it's
And
ridiculously
it's not a Corvette.
fast. Yeah, and it's ridiculously fast.
And it's not a Corvette. I think I like the Mustang over both of those cars,
Okay.
to be totally honest. But for unrealistic, I wouldn't even think about Mustangs and Camaros. So if we go unrealistic, I would just go straight supercar level something, just because. Why not? I don't really have a terrible interest in modern supercars, but give me like a Ferrari, whatever the mid-engine Ferrari is now.
I don't know what
I don't
it
even know the
is.
number of it. I don't know.
No,
I
it's-
apologize, Daily Brief Auto. I don't know the
See,
names of cars.
I wouldn't bother with that. I'd go with a P car.
I don't like the new. I don't like the new Porsches. I also like people call
Why
them P
not?
cars.
Why
Stop
not?
it. But I don't like the new Porsches because they're too big.
Too big.
They're huge. Have you seen one in person? It's a big friggin' car.
Yeah, it's wide.
Right. It's a big car.
It's wide.
So if I'm gonna buy a Porsche,
good.
I want an old small Porsche.
Okay, that's we're talking about. This is the
I don't want one. I have no interest in it because
part of this
that.
question.
Doesn't matter. I have no interest in a new
All right,
Porsche
fine.
because of the size.
I'd actually get a Cayman.
I would. I was gonna say Cayman would be my more
Yeah,
unobtainium, like a Cayman GT4.
yeah.
That would be my unrealistic modern dream car.
Are those the 4-cylinders though?
I think the early GT4 was not.
Whatever. I don't really care.
I don't know enough about them. I really don't. I wish I had all the knowledge in the world of new cars. But my new car knowledge stopped in like '95 in general, and then after like 2010 for like Evos and STS.
For like new cars, it's like if you had the money, you're like the guy that shows up and you're like, I just told them I wanted the most expensive car and this is what they gave me and I don't know
Yeah.
anything about it.
Pretty much. Well, for new cars, what I'm like is, oh, I have $35,000 burning a hole in my pocket. Let me buy a $5,000 daily driver and save this 30 grand to put into old cars.
All right.
So
All right.
I don't have. I have literally no idea how to buy a new car.
I don't know how does this work.
I don't know how this works. I don't know how does any of this work? I don't know how it works.
Can I buy a brand new car on Craigslist? Is that how this works?
I think it's how it works. Okay, going to my Facebook page where I reposted the question.
Yeah. All right.
Like-
Before we get, you brought this beer.
You don't like it at all. I can tell by looking at your
Wilbur?
face. It's called Wilbur.
Wilbur.
And it has a picture of pigs on it.
The description is the bacon beer. It doesn't have bacon in it. It definitely tastes like bacon, and it's kind of gross.
I think it's delicious.
Like, I know it's supposed to taste like smoky, but it's like you drizzled bacon fat into my IPA, and it's kind of weird.
Okay, so it's called Wilbur's Rauch Beer, Rauch Beer, Rauchbier,
Rush beer.
by Fort Hill Brewery, which is in Massachusetts somewhere. East Hampton, Massachusetts. Classy place. And it says often referred to as the bacon beer. This smoky lager features campfire aroma with hints of cured meat. However, it's not beer. It's made from beach smoked barley malt from Bamberg, Germany, not bacon. I think it's delicious. You obviously don't think it's delicious. Judging by the look in your face, you can barely down it. You're trying to be nice and finish it, but whatever. I think it's good.
Oof.
I will gladly bring the rest of them home. So
It's like I'm drinking a beer, and you yelled bacon from the other room.
it's a hint of bacon.
Yeah.
Whatever. I think it's delicious. And I've had bacon beer before, and it was gross, and this is good. So I
That
think,
was gross. I did have that bacon beer.
Yeah, I think that you are just being ruined by the remembrance of the bacon beer in the past.
Well, whatever.
It's delicious.
What questions do you have on your page?
From Thanasi, he says, if you had to buy a car from your birth year, what would it be? Now, that's an interesting question. Would you like to have a go at that, Andrew? 1984, what would you have bought? Not a lot of choices.
No. Terrible choices
Not a lot of choices.
in 84.
My brain in 84 goes Porsche 944. I'm picking for you now, though, because I'm not an 84.
No, in 84, I feel like a 930. You must be able to buy a 930 Porsche.
Probably, because they went from like 78 to 88 or something like that.
Really, that's best choice.
Okay.
It's pretty malaise.
Well, I mean,
in
that
era.
would be best choice for mine, too, because I'm 81, which is not much better. But growing up, because I've had my 68 Camaro since I was a teenager, obviously before teenagers, I was a kid, okay? So before I had my license, I always said I wanted an 81 Z28 as like another car in my life. Fast forward to 2018, where I'm now 37 years old. I no longer want an 81 Z28. I want a 924 turbo. And I assume they had that in 81, but I'm not sure. But that's my non-researched answer is 924 turbo or 924 GTS, depending on which was available that year.
Mm-hmm.
So, not to go all Porsche all the time with my answers today, but they're damn good cars.
Mm-hmm.
And not much else in 81 was a damn good car.
No.
So maybe a Rabbit GTI. Rabbit GTI? Well, that was 83, I guess.
Do they have...
They had Rabbits, not GTIs.
Oh, all right.
So, yeah, probably
There's not a lot. There's really not
probably
a lot.
a 924 turbo. That's what I'm going to go with.
Definitely don't want a DeLorean.
Final answer.
Yeah.
924 turbo. Last question of the night. Dan Downey asks, how do you feel about touchless and touched car washes? The touch car wash, is that like slightly off car wash?
I mean, if you're being touched at a car wash, I mean, you should call an adult.
Yeah. Well, it all depends. Are you in the car by yourself, or have you brought somebody along to the car wash with you?
Okay.
I know people cry murder over using a DIY brush, but I find the touch-free washes totally useless in cleaning the car. Agreed, or am I just a crazy rally person?
What was it?
Touchless car washes,
Yeah.
Are they good? Touched car washes, are they not good? Is the brush bad? Is the brush a good alternative to a touchless because the touchless isn't too shit? Or is he just a crazy rally
If you
person?
go to a crappy touchless, it doesn't do anything. It's hard to find a good one, but I only use touchless.
So, this question is dependent on what I'm driving. If I'm driving my normal daily driver, that's just a daily driver,
I just go touchless for everything.
I will go through a touch tunnel. That doesn't sound right. I will go through a brushed tunnel.
It's a tunnel of love.
Yes, the tunnel of love. Gives you way more time to be touched. I will go through a brush tunnel with like my pickup truck because the pickup truck is huge and it's a pain in the ass to clean.
Yep.
And it does a half decent job. The brush in your driveway, I am totally fine with using a brush or a wash mitt in my driveway. These people who are total car cleaning nerds and total car cleaning Nazis will say that every time you touch your car or something, you cause micro scratches, which is true. But if you wax the car, you're not scratching your car, you're scratching the wax. It's fine. So get over it, people. It's not that big a deal.
I do want that little thing that goes in the bottom of the bucket. That'd be handy.
Just a filter at the bottom of the bucket.
The little stand that keeps the mitt from hitting the bottom of the bucket.
That's fine.
I do need to get one of those.
That is a
reminds me.
reasonable addition to your car washing repertoire. I just don't get behind all these like touchless, waterless, like
The spray foam.
soap in a bucket, man. It's worked for me for years.
The waterless makes sense if you live in an area where water can be scarce.
Right.
And then but that also means it doesn't rain a lot. So
Your car shouldn't be dirty a lot, so you should use a duster and some quick detailer.
yeah.
Keep your car
But
clean.
if you've got your car really cleaned up really well, then it's easy to keep it clean.
Yeah, the more wax on your car, the easier the dirt comes off.
Yep.
And the more wax in your car, the better a job the touchless car wash does of removing said dirt from the car. A touchless car wash does a great job for touch-ups, does a great job for getting heavy stuff off. What it doesn't do is fine details. Like if you look on your windshield after you've gone through a touchless car wash, you'll still see like the rain residue like below your wipers. Because it doesn't take it all off. There's no way it can.
Oh, I know.
So, I know you know. I'm just explaining my point.
Yeah, it's a fair question.
So,
Fair answer.
I think do whatever works for you and be happy with it. If you're fine with a little bit of micro swirls on your car after washing your car,
Yeah.
then you're fine with it. If you're one of those crazy detail people who obsesses over taking pictures of your car in direct sunlight, then yeah, don't touch it with anything. But just do whatever makes you happy.
All right.
Which honestly has been my go-to answer for everything tonight. Just, are you okay with it? Then stick with it.
Yeah.
It's fine.
This has been the Libertarian Car Podcast.
This has been the Feel Good About Yourself Car Podcast.
You do you, man. You
Yeah,
do you.
You do you. Unless Brad doesn't agree with you, then don't do you.
Yeah. All right.
Because then he gets really angry.
Well, if you like our podcast and you want to be able to ask us more questions when we do the occasional question podcast,
We're trying not to do too many question podcasts because it gets repetitive sometimes, I think. When we're doing it every other episode, it was too much.
It's been a while.
I like this. It's like once every couple of months we've been doing it.
Yeah. So if you want to be able to ask us questions again, make sure you follow us Out Off Topic Podcast on Facebook, Out Off Topic on Instagram. We'll post question posts to both spaces. You can follow me on Instagram at Race and Anger. And you can find some of my writing on the Gearbox Magazine website.
Is anything live yet?
Oh, yeah. There's stuff that's on there.
Oh, I did see a thing about the
Stuff about the evap code.
evap of the Subaru, yeah.
There'll be a piece about the valve cover gaskets on the Montero. And there's some other fun stuff about Monteros on there because Brian also owns the same Montero. So if you love Monteros, there's plenty of Montero stuff. There is plenty of other really good stuff on there too.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just
And
the way
who
it
doesn't
is.
love Monteros?
Hey, we're gonna post about stuff that we want to talk about. So
Right. And if you want to read it,
if you-
great. If you don't, tough. We're going to post it anyway.
exactly, this is the Libertarian Out Off Topic Podcast. Apparently,
Right.
do whatever you want.
Post what you want, Andrew. Who
Yeah.
cares if anybody reads it?
I
As
don't.
long as you makes you feel good.
That's right. I'm getting participation trophies left and right. Where can they find you?
Much simpler, just at TSI SS350.
All right.
More to come, though, as I need to talk to you about for a minute after we go off the air here.
Oh, off-topic stuff.
Yes.
Off the air, off-topic.
Yes.
All right. So
That's our unrecorded podcast
Yeah.
that we do every day together.
yeah, off-topic after dark.
No, definitely not. Auto off topic, car wash tunnel.
Yeah. Anyway, as always, keep your cars analog, use a touch-free car wash,
Or not, whatever makes you happy.
and aim for the roses.